Hi, my name is Aakruti Desai, and today I'm here with Meredith Walsh from Mind Your Intuition.
Hi.
Hi, how
Well,
are you?
thank you for having me. I'm really excited.
Awesome. Could you give us a couple sentences on your business?
Sure. So I'm a holistic business coach. I also produce a festival, but this is the holistic business coach is what I do online. So especially now, it's really important. I help female entrepreneurs grow and scale their business online to reach their first 10K month and to basically create a six-figure business. And to do that without all the stress and the fear and the overwhelm that comes with growing and scaling a business.
Awesome. So why did you get into the industry of helping other businesses grow?
Yeah, so I really, through my festival, I mentioned I've been hosting for the past 7 years, and that is it's the Mid Atlantic's first Universal Healing Arts Festival. So I gather like around 12 bands over a weekend of 3-4 days. We're now in 4 days, and through that, I really learned because I grew that from my backyard to now be a really successful festival that is, now landed in two different areas, two different spaces outside of my backyard. And I really watched creatives and just entrepreneurs, whether they were musicians or healers, as in Reiki healers or massage therapists, um, basically all the creative entrepreneurs. And I saw it was almost like a belief system that they couldn't make it or get paid doing what they love. And because I scaled this festival, which is something that is super heart centered for me, it started as a fundraiser for a school in Africa that I went to go teach yoga at. And at the time, I was working as a consultant in social media and online communications for the World Bank. And I came back and realized what I could actually do to serve humanity is more that to create my own thing basically, and to create community at the grassroots level and to grow it into a really strong tree, which is my logo, or our logo for Flow Jam, a tree. And basically I watched what happened over the years and learned lessons about scaling a business, and especially one as complex as a festival, producing a festival. And I wanted to offer one-on-one coaching and also group coaching to people that wanted to make money online, have a business of their own online, or a way to bring it online, to make even more money, and to do that without all the stress and without the fear and the overwhelm, which is something I feel I really have mastered. I mean, you're constantly mastering this, you're constantly working on it, but I because of my training, I guess, with my background and with this festival, it allowed me to understand how to grow something from a baby seed, and to do that without like getting stressed out in the process or getting overwhelmed, because there's so many decisions that go into starting and growing your business, and there's so many different, it's a constant self-development process to build a business. And so I really started Mind Your Intuition to help those people that I saw. Now I've refined my niche even further to be females, and to be powerful, ambitious females who really are ready to grow a sustainable business. So yeah, it started from that festival of me seeing the people that were there, just getting stuck in self-sabotage and fear about going after what they really wanted in life. And I think that life is just too short to not be living in joy and living in what you're truly here to do.
Is business or consulting what you studied in college? Did
So what I learned, what I studied in college, my undergrad was psychology and communications. So I started working in, consulting in advertising and marketing. And then I also have a master's in world politics and international communications. So it's a double master's that I did while living in Australia and consulting for like their largest media magazine publishing company. And so I've worked in a lot of different places. On my website, it says I've never had a 9-to-5, which is true, but I have worked in a lot of corporate organizations and nonprofits as a consultant where I learned a lot. And as well with my master's, with having a master's in world politics, it's really at the deep level, it's really studying how countries survive and thrive or crash and burn. And a lot of that has to do with how they're set up to support businesses. And, with my work with the World Bank, understanding like how they give loans and how, like who they give loans to and micro business, all of these things have come into play with my ability to help people expand and grow their business. So I'm all about creating different revenue streams for people, where they can have different outlets to make money. To answer your question, it really wasn't something, I didn't study business, but I have learned from successful business owners over time. A lot of successful business owners. So I learn from them, and then I take what has been successes and failures for me, and then I give those successes to my clients. Yeah.
Awesome. And taking into account your background in world politics and your business experience, how have you been helping businesses who are kind of plateaued or even declined their growth due to the pandemic? And what has happened to your own business because of it?
So I will say that I am specifically working with female that want to scale their business online. So it really, actually, it's like the perfect time for people to get involved and either create or launch or scale their business online. Especially like right now, I'm working on filling up my one-on-one calendar, and that's specifically for people who are already making $2,000 to $5,000 in their business online to scale it to 10K. So really it hasn't affected that business because everyone can now make money online, and everyone's rushing to be able to understand the dynamics of the online world and how to actually make money consistently and create funnels that bring you clients, all of this stuff. So that hasn't been affected. And what I do for my clients is basically help them create high ticket offers that they can sell to people, and people are still buying. Like people are still needing coaches, still needing service providers, and everyone's kind of reallocating their budget as to what they're now spending on. And there's a lot of people on unemployment that are making a ton of money that they haven't been making before. So actually, I'm about to sign on a client who's using her unemployment money to invest and start her own business, which I think is so smart. So that business hasn't really been affected. It's actually grown, but my festival has been affected. I am supposed to be, like our dates were June 18th through the 21st, and we've been going for 7 years, and we've had that date around that time for the 6 out of the 7. And so I've had to push it back. A lot of festivals and events have canceled. I've been able to reserve a second date in October. So we're just fingers crossing it, but it definitely has affected. I've taken tickets offline, just to even save on operating costs, for ticket, the cost that it has monthly for you to have that ticketing service. So yeah, that has definitely been affected, and which is, unfortunate, but we're gonna power through. So
yeah. As far as how you got your background in advertising, how have you seen that play a role in successfully marketing your business so that more people, specifically more women who are trying to grow their business, can come to you for help?
Yeah, so marketing is super important, authentic marketing. People are buying you, and they're buying the solution that you provide them, and they want to trust you, they want to know you, they want to like you. So it's a lot of showing up consistently. I have done better with organic growth than I have with paying for social media ads, for example. Doesn't mean that I don't use both, but organic marketing, especially now with social media, is amazing, and you can really build your brand, which should have you face front and center. And there's different ideologies about that, but basically people want to know you. And so if you are your brand, it doesn't mean that you can't scale to have people working under you or working for you as like developing and delivering these products or services that you have. But you yourself, especially in the beginning and, you know, scaling to six figures, whatever it is, people want to know who you are. They want you to show up consistently so that they trust you, and they know that you're not just dipping your toe in the water, and that you're actually going to get them results, and that you stay consistent with your messaging. So making sure that you always have, like, you're not just sharing and posting to fill up space. You are posting for an agenda with an intention to gain more leads in your business, because really it's a lot about lead generation, who is coming in and how you can funnel them through your funnel system, which is, you know, having a place to catch your ideal clients when they're not ready to buy. You have different variety of offers for, you know, people at different points, and you've narrowed your niche enough to really understand who your ideal clients are and what they are suffering from, and so you develop services and products around that. And, you know, marketing is key. So just, you know, making sure that you have a call to action, that you have an intention behind your posts. You get lives are great, you know, and all this is free. You know, Facebook isn't charging us right now for even having a business page. Yes, they make money on their ads, and I'm sure they make a lot of money, but you can do this for free. So it's exciting. You know, we don't even need to have ad agencies really for ourselves.
As far as your niche that you developed of women specifically wanting to grow their business, how have you found that passion for that very specific target market? And because I don't think you initially started out with that and you kind of like found your way to that. How have you found your passion, and how have you stuck with it? Because it is such a specific area.
Yeah. So the more specific, the better. It's kind of like being a hand surgeon versus a family doctor. So you are really, really specialized in one area and focus in one area, which allows you to charge higher rates, which is what I teach my clients as well, because they're specifically working for these types of people. So for me, my niche has narrowed throughout the time when I launched this business in 2018. So at first, my messaging was all about helping people get off anxiety medication. Entrepreneurs, I wanted to work with entrepreneurs specifically, but I was also targeting creative entrepreneurs because like I said, I got this intuitive feeling and call to build this business based upon my festival, where I saw a lot of creative artists, creative healers, creative musicians, creative entrepreneurs not reaching their next level, most because their mindset, and they don't know the know-how of actually like building a business, which I do, and especially one online. And so I first started with targeting creative entrepreneurs who, you know, and I use the word anxiety, I use who wanted to like release anxiety without getting stuck in self-sabotage and fear, and to do that without taking prescription medication. So I used medication in my messaging, and I use anxiety, and I use creative entrepreneurs. And I don't use those anymore. I use powerful, ambitious female entrepreneurs, because I realize I really want to work with females, because I think that they're they suffer more from imposter syndrome. They suffer from like asking for more money, for feeling confident in making more money, all of these things that I wanted to personally like help with females. And then from there, I realized after doing more market research, do people even want, like if they're on medication or on anti-anxiety drugs, do they want to get off of it? And do I want to be the person to help them do that? And so I had to like really do a lot of market research to find my ideal clients, find out what they wanted and what I can help them with. Because, I say I'm a holistic business coach, and that's because I was diagnosed with anxiety disorder when I was really young, and I was put on so many different medications. And really, it wasn't until I was 19 that I was able to take myself off of everything. And I unsubscribed from that Western need to identify and diagnose and prescribe. And I started studying more Eastern medicine, Ayurveda, yoga, essential oils, cleansing, eating more, getting more superfoods in my diet. All of these things, meditation, helped me just like eliminate those labels to begin with. I don't believe that I ever actually had those disorders. They were just environmental, and also what I was eating, what I was ingesting, just being a child, like growing up in society. And so now the only thing that I take is vitamins, and I've never been happier or more living in my flow. And money is easy to attract. All of these things, clients are easy to attract for me. And this is what I instill upon my clients, to have these belief systems and to take care of your mind and take care of your body. But I don't anymore specifically target people who want to get off medication or have anxiety and all those things. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
As far as your background in corporate America and like corporate globally, I guess, and have you ever felt discriminated in the workplace because you were a woman in a high position? And do you deal with people who are often coming out of those kind of discriminatory situations and wanting to start their own business so they could get rid of that discrimination?
Yeah, so definitely. When I first started with the World Bank, and I share this a lot with my clients and just anyone, but I took their first offer that they gave me, which was less than what I was making at a pub in Australia when I worked in Australia at a pub. And it was like $17 an hour. And then I figured out that a male counterpart who had the exact same credentials as me, had, similar master's degree, work experience, all this, was getting paid. It was like a 90-day contract at the time. And over the course of those 90 days, he was getting paid $10,000 more than I was. And that's when I really learned to negotiate, and really learned how to like really stand up for myself and ask for what I want. And a lot of women especially don't ask for what they want, or to get raises or all these things. So eventually, when I left, I was making a 6-figure contract, but it was that really ringed me. And then just being in a higher position as a young, like I was 28, and I got discriminated against for just like ageism was really rampant in that bureaucratic institution. Was ageism. So I would say everything that I experienced was that institution. Not to say that I didn't love it and learned a bunch from it, which is part of, me doing the entrepreneurial route actually was when I didn't get the full-time contract I was after, which was such a blessing, because I was working and feeling like, okay, you get the label, you get the big contract, and you get the, I had a house in Capitol Hill, and I like quote unquote had made it, according to society. And then when I didn't get that contract, it was like, what have I been doing? The past 4 years, I've been climbing this corporate ladder, and like, what am I really doing? Like my intention, I was like, oh, okay, I want to pay off my student loans as quickly as possible. And working here, like, I know that I'll get a good salary, and I'll be able to like last for 10 years and get this money, pay off my loans, and then do what I really want to do. But because I didn't get the contract, and because they basically told me that I didn't fit in there, which was true, I was like, well, I have to work for myself. Like, I have to make this work. I can't work for anyone else, because it feels like I'm in a hamster wheel. And I want to do everything. I don't want to just be pinpointed to just doing social media and online communications. And as a business owner, you literally are doing everything, your every role until you can hire and systemize your business enough to where you can hire a social media person, you can hire someone to write your newsletters, you can hire someone to ghostwrite, all of these things that I now am able to do. But I wanted to do everything, and now I just want time freedom. So yeah.
Awesome. And what would you have said to the Meredith that was starting Mind Your Intuition in 2018? Like that, I guess that those years of experience that you've gained, if you could go back and tell her any advice that you learned along the way, what would you tell her?
This is a great question. I would say to really focus in on your clients' pain points and finding your niche, like, and staying with it, just knowing that it's going to work out because you're putting the energy and the effort behind it. Because it definitely was, starting any business is really daunting, and there's a lot to understand, and there's a lot of mindset blocks that you have to release to be able to grow consistently and sustainably. And so I think, just telling her that to narrow that niche and to focus on your clients' problems to solve them is really, I would tell her. And then also just to like stay calm. It's all going to work out.
And for my final question, what advice do you have for the future female business owners that are listening right now?
I would say to ensure that you have a way to make money online, and you have a way to diversify your offerings and your products, so that in any economic climate, you're going to be selling. And also to hire a mentor or a coach, because the money that you spend on a coach, if you hire the right person like me, if you're wanting to scale your business online, but it will save you so much time, so much headache, so much trying to figure all the things out. I started my festival in 2014 and didn't go full-time entrepreneur until 2016. I think at that point I was still taking a few contracts. In 2017, I was like, I've got to figure something else out, because I'm just running, and it feels like I'm now created a hamster wheel that I'm like in. And then as soon as I hired a coach, it was like a game changer. So that's what I love to do for my clients as well. But I would say don't be afraid to reach out for help, and do it before you feel financially ready to do it, because they're going to help you save a lot of time and save a lot of money. So
Great. Where can our listeners find you and your business?
So you can find me at Mind, MIND, your, YOUR, Intuition, INTUITION.com. So mindyourintuition.com. And if you are someone who wants to scale their business to hit their first 10K, I'm doing one-on-ones. I'm opening one-on-one slots for the next 2 weeks. I only have free spaces to fill. So if you are listening and it's now, go to mindyourintuition.com/apply, and that's where you can book a call with me. And then if you want to have any resources that are like my best resources to make money without all the stress and the overwhelm, for your business is mindyourintuition.com/free money. So that's where you can get my guides.
Great. Thank you so much for doing this interview.
You're welcome. Thanks for the opportunity.